Welcome to Reflect with Ed Fassio. Get ready to experience one of the world's first 100% digitally generated podcasts, where we take a step back, dive deep, and strive to learn new things. Join us as we unpack thought-provoking ideas, personal reflections, and inspiring stories to help you stay in the know. Reflect is brought to you by the minds at ByteBrain and powered by emerging technologies from Google, HeyGen, OpenAI, and 11 Labs. Thanks for tuning in. Now, relax and prepare to reflect.
Welcome to Reflect, one of the world's first 100% AI-generated podcasts. Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something, a feeling I think many of us share. You know, that little prickle of unease when you see another headline screaming about AI taking over. It's not just some abstract tech thing. It feels deeply personal. This fear of losing control, maybe becoming irrelevant. We're diving into Agentic AI, that's AI systems designed to act autonomously, towards a goal. And it's a big one.
Yeah, it really is. And for this deep dive, we're not just going to, skim the surface or float hypotheticals. Our mission here is really to cut through all that noise. Let's look at the practical realities. We want to equip you, our listener, with a kind of shortcut to being genuinely well-informed. And maybe more importantly, feeling empowered. The goal is to turn that lurking fear into something useful, leverage even. So we'll look at how organizations are managing these systems, then maybe offer a personal survival guide for your career. And finally, yes, tackle that big cosmic worry, the machines will be uncontrollable story.
All right. Let's unpack this then. Our deep dive into the source material really highlighted this potent anxiety around agentic AI. Our analysis calls it a double-decker fear. Can you elaborate on that? What are those two layers?
Yeah, it's a brilliant phrase, double-decker fear. It captures the two main anxieties just perfectly. So on the first deck, you've got this broad organizational fear. This is the corporate worry, right? The anxiety in the boardroom. You hear security teams buzzing about governance frameworks. The sort of background hum of terror about data breaches, potential lawsuits, regulators breathing down their necks. It's that feeling companies get like they're losing their grip on the technology and its potentially explosive implications, worrying about liability, stability.
Okay, so that's level one. And then the second deck, that's where it gets really personal, right? The kitchen table worry hits closer to home.
Absolutely. That's the individual fear. It's a quiet whisper, maybe late at night. What happens to my job? What if this thing does what I do, but, better? Faster, cheaper. You've likely felt that unsettling little thought, wondering if your whole career path is about to be, paved over. What's really fascinating, though, is that even though these are different levels, organizational, individual, the root is basically the same. It's insecurity. It comes from feeling like you're losing control, losing the wheel.
New.
Humans just fundamentally dislike feeling like passengers, especially in their own story. We want our hands on the wheel professionally, organizationally.
Right. We absolutely want to be in the driver's seat. Okay. So if this deep fear is all about losing control, how are companies actually keeping the lid on this tech? Because it's not about, good vibes or just hoping for the best. It has to be about systems. And the good news, as our sources suggest, is that the scaffolding, the basic structure is already going up.
Exactly. We're not starting from absolute zero here. There's already a pretty robust set of frameworks, regulations starting to take shape. And they're having real practical impact. Take the EU AI Act.
Okay.
It's law now. Focuses heavily on high-risk AI. It even has outright bans on certain things, like social scoring. And the crucial thing to grasp is its global reach. If your company operates internationally, you'll likely get pulled into compliance one way or another.
So these government mandates create ripples. Are there also, clearer playbooks, industry standards companies can actually use?
Definitely. The U.S. isn't just sitting back either. Their 2023 executive order. It set pretty clear expectations, things like testing, reporting, managing risks for the really advanced AI systems. Now, it's not quite law in the same way, but look, when Washington signals something like that, auditors, regulators, they pay attention. And then you've got organizations like NIST. They're the standards people in the U.S. They've published their risk management framework and a specific generative AI profile. Think of that as a kind of recipe, a guide for building controls before things go wrong instead of just patching holes afterwards.
Like a blueprint for safety from the get-go.
Precisely. And we're also seeing independent referees stepping in. The UK's new AI Safety and Security Institute, for instance, they're stress testing these cutting-edge models on cybersecurity threats, biohazards, you name it.
Wow. wow.
It's like the early version of third-party crash tests, but for AI, making sure they meet tough standards before they're let loose. And what's more, even the labs themselves, DeepMind, Anthropic, OpenAI, they're putting out their own safety levels, scaling policies.
Yeah.
These aren't just PR documents. They're actual blueprints you can and probably should demand in contracts to ensure responsible development.
Okay, those big frameworks are clearly vital. But what about for companies looking for like immediate practical steps, quick hit controls they can implement right now?
Yeah, for immediate action, there's several key things. First, sandboxes. Give every AI agent clear limits, budget, time, scope. Stops them running wild.
Containment. Makes sense.
Second, human approval gates.
Mm.
Especially for sensitive stuff, sending money, publishing code. A human needs to sign off. Always.
Got it. Human in the loop for critical actions.
Third, install what are called tripwires.
Mm.
Think of them like digital circuit breakers or an emergency stop, software that just kills a process if it starts going rogue.
An immediate kill switch if things go sideways. That feels reassuring.
It does. Fourth, log everything. If something does break, you need that black box recording to see exactly what happened step by step.
Right, forensics.
And finally, maybe the most fundamental rule, separation of duties. Never let a single AI agent run the whole show. Your accountant gets this principle. Your AI systems need it too. Checks and balances.
That makes such profound sense. You wouldn't let one person in finance handle budgeting, payroll, and auditing, right? It's just basic good practice.
Exactly. Look, this isn't paranoia. It's just discipline. The same kind we apply to, I don't know, nuclear plants, banks, airplanes. Agentic AI isn't some magic thing. It's just another powerful system. And powerful systems need management. They need boundaries. We know how to do this.
Okay, let's shift gears then to that kitchen table fear, the one that keeps people up at night. What about my job? This is where it gets really critical, personally speaking, because the economists, well, they've been giving us some pretty honest scorecards, haven't they? And it's not quite AI takes all jobs.
No, it's definitely more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
You look at the IMF, for instance. They estimate about 60% of jobs in advanced economies are, let's say, exposed to AI.
Exposed, okay.
Well, but here's the crucial bit. About half of those, they'll likely be helped by AI, augmented. Think of AI as a tool making you better, more efficient.
A co-pilot.
Exactly. The other half, though, they are potentially in danger of automation or at least significant change. Goldman Sachs, they projected maybe 6-7% of U.S. jobs could be displaced, which sounds like a lot.
It does.
But you have to frame it historically. Jobs always churn. New ones appear. Economies adapt, often creating roles we literally can't even imagine right now.
So less of a sudden apocalypse, more like an evolution, a potentially rapid one, but still an evolution. And McKinsey's numbers really highlight the how of that, especially around skills.
They really do. And this is where personal action becomes key. McKinsey suggests AI could add, 0.1 to 0.6% growth per year in productivity? Solid numbers.
Yeah.
But, and this is the absolute kicker, you only get those gains if workers reskill. If people don't adapt, don't learn new things, that gap between the winners and losers in this new economy, it just widens massively. And the World Economic Forum asked employers what they're desperate for. It wasn't AI coding necessarily. It was analytical thinking, creative thinking, and crucially, the ability to wrangle AI systems.
Wrangle them.
Yeah, the stuff that doesn't easily compress into an algorithm, the uniquely human skills.
That's incredibly powerful. It flips the script, doesn't it? From compete with AI to manage AI. So for you, listening right now, what's the practical survival strategy? How do you become one of these indispensable wranglers?
The key really is a mindset shift. Don't even try to outcompute the machine. It's pointless. Instead, become the wrangler, the architect. Learn to break down your work. What are the steps an agent could handle? Where do you need to step in for quality control? How do you measure if the AI's output is actually good?
Okay, architecting the process.
Second, stack resistance skills. Focus on building capabilities that are just inherently hard to automate. Things like negotiation plus deep analysis, or creativity combined with regulatory understanding, judgment plus data sense. These complex human skill mixes are goals.
Combinations.
And third, this is critical. Keep receipts. Document everything. Show exactly how your use of AI increases output or improves accuracy or drives revenue.
Yeah.
This makes you an amplifier, someone who multiplies value, not just a cog that could be replaced.
An amplifier, not a cog. I like that. It's a fantastic reframe. But if someone's struggling with that shift, what's the very first, most concrete step? How do they start thinking like that?
The absolute first step. Pick one routine task you do, something you suspect AI could help with. Then Instead of just doing it next time, map it out. What are the inputs? What's the exact output needed? Where could an AI possibly step in? And critically, where would I need to check its work? Just doing that concrete exercise, it immediately shifts your perspective from user to architect. Because the bottom line, you see, is this. You don't get paid just to do the work anymore. Increasingly, you get paid to architect the work and hold the machine accountable for the results. That's the shift.
Right. Okay, now, the big one. This is where the anxiety really spikes for a lot of people, isn't it? We've all heard the stories, the Hollywood version. AI slips the leash. Humanity becomes, I don't know, pets, spectators. It's terrifying. So the question that haunts us, won't AI just become uncontrollable?
Look, first, a quick disclaimer. Anyone who tells you they know exactly how this plays out, they're selling snake oil. It's complex. It's uncertain.
Fair enough.
However, let's talk about the grounded version. Based on what we actually see happening, controllability isn't binary. It's not like an on-off switch, fine today, out of control tomorrow. It's more like a sliding scale. And engineers are working incredibly hard on techniques to keep AI aligned with what humans actually intend.
What kinds of techniques are we talking about? How are they trying to engineer this alignment?
Well, they're already using pretty sophisticated methods.
Yeah.
Things like reinforcement learning from AI feedback, where AI learns by trial and error, guided by rewards and penalties often given by other AIs. And also constitutional AI. That's where systems are designed to kind of self-align with a set of ethical rules or principles, like giving them an internal compass. Now, are these methods perfect? No, of course not. But they are improving. They learn over time, getting better at serving human goals through these feedback loops.
So building guardrails into the system itself, not just fencing it in from the outside, that feels like a fundamental difference.
It is. And on top of that, you have labs and governments experimenting with capability thresholds. These are basically rules that say, okay, if a model can do X, maybe design certain chemicals, or act autonomously in complex ways, then it doesn't get deployed until safeguard Y is proven to be in place.
Ah, like milestones.
Exactly. Think of like how we rate nuclear plants or certify aircraft. Certain capabilities trigger much stricter safety requirements before they get the green light.
Does any of this mean the risk just vanishes? No, obviously not.
No.
But the key insight here, the really important takeaway, is that inevitability is not a strategy. We can't just throw up our hands and say, well, doom is coming.
Precisely. And this isn't totally unprecedented, right? We as a species have managed incredibly powerful, potentially world-ending technologies before. Nuclear weapons, advanced biotech, complex global financial networks. We've managed them without ever achieving perfect 100% control.
That's a really good point.
The key has always been layered defenses, strict testing, robust emergency exits, constant vigilance. Agentic AI, it belongs in that same category, that same toolbox of powerful, potentially risky, but ultimately manageable systems. We learn to live with the risk, manage it actively, not expect to eliminate it entirely.
Which brings us back to something our deep dive called the human edge. What is it that AI, even super advanced AI, truly lacks?
It's quite profound when you think about it. The human edge, it's about having stakes, skin in the game. And AI doesn't have a mortgage payment. It doesn't have a reputation to protect. It doesn't have a conscience keeping it awake at night. It doesn't wrestle with the weight of a decision, the moral implications, the personal consequences if things go wrong. Humans do. And that, I really believe, is our unique, irreplaceable superpower in this coming era. The future isn't really about fighting the machine. It's about contracting with it.
Contracting with, that's a brilliant frame. What does a clear contract look like then for a person or a company?
It means defining things very clearly. What exactly is the AI allowed to do? Where are its boundaries? Where is it likely to fail or need checking? How humans check its work? And maybe most importantly, who signs off? Who takes ultimate responsibility?
Accountability.
Yes. Clear delineation of responsibilities and accountability, whether you're running a team, a company, or just managing your own career. Adopting that mindset, defining the contract, that puts you squarely back in the driver's seat. It's about taking proactive control, not just reacting.
So if we bring this all together, fear, it seems, comes from that feeling of losing control. But courage, maybe competence too, comes from taking control back with structure, with these clear contracts, with active management. The tech is strange, yes, it's new, it's evolving fast, but strange isn't the same as inevitable doom, it's a system. And systems, well, systems can be managed, contained, directed.
Because leadership, The kind that actually takes control, calms the floor when things get hairy, and makes that final accountable call. That's one job description that is never, ever going to be automated.
So as agentic AI continues to evolve, maybe consider this. What role will you play? Will you be architecting the future or just observing it? Thanks for listening to the Reflect podcast, where we're telling the future. Are you in it? Visit reflectpodcast.com and share your story.
In the cyber ocean of online voices and recycled content, something different has arrived. Reflect isn't just another podcast, it's the future of storytelling, powered entirely by AI. From curating data to assembling thought-provoking ideas, we've redefined how journeys are told. Reflect is a podcast that thinks, learns, and evolves with each episode. Every tale, every insight, crafted by the most advanced AI technologies. A podcast that disrupts the industry, breaking free from traditional formats, taking you on an entirely new experience. So tune in now and reflect. We're telling the future.